What up, YouTube? Just woke up and threw my hat on like Timmy Turner. Um, when we watch a lot of these YouTube videos, or even try to learn how to talk to women and approach, and you take a more systematic approach to it, like you're trying to learn it like it's a game. I think there's actually a big problem where you can end up, you know, taking too much control to the point where it doesn't take the other person into account. Like you're trying to run your game and like your approach on a woman, but you're not taking into account necessarily how she's feeling. um like a lot of the times we think things like, all right, if you want to get the girl, you got to make it happen. She's not going to make the move, so we got to make it happen, right? Like that's how you think. And I think that a lot of the time it can turn into, you know, over bridging the gap. Like if there's a gap between you guys, like you don't really know each other, if take try to take too much control, and I'll explain what I mean by that. You over bridge the gap between you and her. Like I believe that, yes, a woman does want to be led, but and she wants to be in the presence of a confident man, but it's like, if you like, she can't trust anybody. She can't just be led by anybody. So if you go up to a girl and you really want to make something happen, you're trying to get a date off the first interaction, you're trying to get her number even though you're going to see her every single day, it's like she doesn't even necessarily know you. So you can't just expect her to go along with your confidence and your leadership, because a woman wanting a leader doesn't mean that she will submit or just be led by anybody that's new that comes into her life. And I think that even showing too much intent or leadership, like trying to get them on a date right away and stuff, I think can actually backfire. I think sometimes it's even better to just leave open space for her to get to know you, so she doesn't feel bombarded or pressured. Like maybe a lot of men, like to watch other men be very aggressive, like go and ask out a woman, drop your pickup line like right away type of thing. And I feel like that's something that other men applaud, kind of like how other men like to applaud, or they see a fast and loud car and they're like, yeah, but then the women are not really into it. So sometimes you got to look at what women are actually interested in. And I think that sometimes you have to actually take it easy, get to know a girl slowly, and then she will start to step more into her masculine and start to chase you, right? If she's comfortable with you and she's also she's slowly seeing some value in you over time, you're kind of drip feeding her the value. That sounds kind of weird, but she's slowly warming up to you, then she may end up feeling more confident, comfortable around you, and then playing the masculine, coming up to you, like opening up, things like that. I do think that, confidence and showing intent, like telling a woman you want to take her out, that type of thing, being quick, I think that can sometimes matter, and it's a balance. But the other thing, like the thing is like doing that isn't necessarily confident. It can sometimes just be socially unaware. Like sometimes playing the long game is fine, because like you have to take into account the other person. Then there's also probably the case where some women will go wait full circle for you. Like you'll ask them out, they'll say no, then you go and work on yourself, and they're watching your Instagram stories, you're maybe dating another girl, and then things go full circle, and then you meet them again, and then they're more open. I don't know what that is. Maybe it could be they're in a different place in life, or they just wanted to watch you. Because I think women can get a little bit hesitant, so they just want to watch your behavior over like months or whatever, just to see how you are. And so there's all those like three factors, I guess. Like for some women, it may have to be like you go full circle. Like you ask them out, they say no, you kind of forget about them, you go off, work on your own self, and then somehow you cross paths again. And then there's the other women that will be in your life, but you got to take it slow. But then you also got to balance, showing some intent. And I think it's just, you got to watch for the cue. Like after you ask them out, if they're maybe not super open to it, or even if they go out with you, and then maybe you go out on one date, but then you kind of take it easy from that point. Maybe you don't go on another date for another 10, 15, 20 days. Maybe a month. Maybe they want to reflect on you. Maybe they are busy after your first date, so you gotta take it easy. Or maybe you can get a second date like 3 days later, 2 days later, who knows. But anyways, I think that the man who can show the most intent the quickest isn't the most socially aware thing, even if men applaud that. Men applaud, other men that go up and just, hey, you're cute, can I get your number? Like, sometimes you gotta play it the long game. And even if you're in cold approach and you're doing short interactions in public, you still wanna run that conversation as long as you can before you ask for a number or suggest getting coffee or something. So yeah, like I've noticed something actually is like, I noticed the men that have a girlfriend the most often are not actually the men that approach the most. These men actually usually have no system for dating, like almost none. Like they don't sit around and think about how to date. Most of the time they have no system for dating. They just get to know a girl over the long term, or in a friend group, or they're just naturally good at connecting, but they're not gonna overdo it with intent. Because like I'm saying, you can't, like if you want to learn like a systematic approach to dating, like watching videos like this, you have to remember that you can't take so much control, because the other person isn't necessarily going to react to everything that you think. Like you can run your game and approach on somebody, but maybe they need time to warm up to you. So you have to be socially aware as well. All right. I hope that helps. Okay, peace out, y'all.